When the name From Software comes up in a discussion, a box is opened full of wonderful and colorful emotions. Denial, pain and guilt, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Sound familiar? It's the stages of grief. Something that every player goes through when playing a From Software title. They're a studio that has developed a cult following over the years because of the kinds of games they make even when they step outside of their usual box for just a little bit. The Souls series is known for its brutal difficulty, and I love them because of it, but it was their newer IPs that caught my attention. Bloodborne to this day remains my favorite From Software game, notably for its faster-paced gameplay and its Victorian London setting. But it wasn't until 2019 where that top spot was under a bit of contention with their latest title. Enter Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, a game that many believed would be the sequel to Bloodborne from the teaser they hit us with many years ago. Sekiro may be the furthest that From Software has stepped outside of the box in nearly a decade, and in terms of a video game, it's one that hit all the right notes with me. Sekiro, like many of From Software's games before it, is a test of players' patience, commitment, and focus. I would even go so far as to say that it might be the most extreme of all these attributes. Coming from a character action game background and someone that stands by Ninja Gaiden Black being one of the greatest games ever made, Sekiro was a game that sent me back to an older era in the industry. It's a game about failure and triumph. Heck, the main character dies in the beginning while trying to save the prince he was sworn to protect, and this alone paves the way for the kind of experience you can expect when jumping into the game. Like any Souls game, you will die, and die a lot. But this is where the game harkens back to an earlier era of video games. When you die, you're granted a chance to come back to life immediately and seek vengeance upon the opponents that ended you. Truth is that video games or extra lives were your means of having another chance to overcome something that you just weren't prepared for. Something that modern video games, specifically action games, have basically done away with as they've gone further into the market of mass appeal. I mean, the game even has a dedicated jump button, which at face value is sad to be excited about, but after some thought of how many games I've played recently that even allow you to jump at all, it's justified. And being able to jump at will definitely opens up a new type of gameplay compared to From Software's previous ventures. You can jump ledges or grapple to them and use overhead stealth tactics to catch enemies off guard and give you a leg up on tough foes. But what makes Sekiro truly shine is, like any Souls-like, the satisfaction of overcoming hardship. When that one enemy or boss has been handing your butt to you and making you kiss it for 2 hours straight, and suddenly there's that one attempt you give where you completely dominate them in triumph. Not only is it a satisfying feeling, but it also shows the progression of your skills as a player. Understanding the game's mechanics, practicing them in actual combat, and using them to obtain victory is a tried and true staple of action games since their inception. But Sekiro accentuates this trend by tying the whole idea into its actual game mechanics. Death and Resurrection gives you a chance to take down a foe that has been haunting you for hours, but Resurrection comes at a cost. What that cost is? You'll have to find that one out on your own. But Sekiro's triumph over hardship and its harkening back to the games of old place it as fourth place of my favorite games of 2019.